Welcome to the 46th Annual Red Angus Classic Show today. Our judge is Andy Van Arnhem from Exira, Iowa. Coming into the ring is Class 1, JVTM Jana 133J, May 25 of 21.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here and work through the Red Angus cattle. Obviously, they made it tough on me to start, kind of ease me into it with a single entry here, but this is a heifer that's sure one that I hope you in the bleachers can find, and you when you go to the sale tomorrow can find. I think this one's got a lot of good, and it excites me for what we'll see the rest of the day in the Red Angus breed. What I love about this one, you study her right down at the ground. She's got tremendously big feet, and it carries back up into her bone all the way through her body. That one's a stout built one, but yet she's still extremely feminine. I really like the way she's laid in about her shoulder, the way her neck ties out of the top of her shoulder. But I love the power this one possesses and the femininity that she has. She's certainly going to be an interesting one as we go on through the day here. An awfully, awfully good individual to start out. Sure one I think would make a great junior project if that's what you're looking for.
Class 1 entry single shown by JVM Cattle Company. Coming in the ring will be Class 2, JTVM Justice 136J, April 22nd of 21, date of birth. And the second entry is KBCC Gabriella 127J, 415 of 21, date of birth.
In the format we're going with today, I'm to pull one and to be our class or division winner, and the young ladies heifer is going to lead off. And again, one that when she comes into the ring, it just hits you awfully hard. And again, like the last one, I love the foot shape that she has, the circumference of bone that she has, but yet she's still really clean and neat in her joints. One that's tremendously long-sided, really, really extended and attractive out through her front end. One that reads to me to be a Red Angus show heifer prospect, but one that still has plenty of shape and curvature in through her center body. A really, really high quality individual there to lead off the class. The young man's heifer that's going to end up in the second hole here today is one that reads as a cow. That one has a tremendous amount of cow power. She's really bold and opened up in her forerib, got lots of depth and shape and dimension in her center body. You guys that are buying them is what really matters here. And if you're looking for one that's going to go out and be a low maintenance, easy keeping brood cow prospect, that one sure fits the bill. A nice pair of heifers, again, and a really good set of females so far.
Coming into the ring is Class 3. BARN Jenny, 4'11" of 21. BARN Juju, 4'8" of 21. BARN Jolene, 4'2" of 21. On Class 2, first place went to JVM Cattle Company, and reserve went to Cabela Brothers Cattle.
This particular sort of heifers, you could go a lot of different ways with them, but I think the young ladies that leads off is one that for me is the most complete. A super green female in her condition, and that's okay. This is the kind of heifer that you can take home, and she's going to get better every day of your life. And I don't know about you, but when I'm buying them, there's nothing worse than having them never look better than the day you bought them. And I think this heifer's got a ton of future in her. One that if we study the way her skeleton's put together, she's really correct in her foot shape. She's correct in her joints. I love the way she lays in her top line. She's really relaxed and smooth as she gets out on the go. She's neat and tidy and attractive up through her front end. A heifer with a little more length and extension and tons of future ahead of her. I think one that for me is the logical place to start. As we describe the other two heifers in no particular order, the young man's heifer that's coming next follows her very closely in terms of that extra frame and extension and youthfulness. I think this one's another one that's super green in her condition today, but it's got lots and lots of good in her. If you need some cattle in your program to put a little extra scale in them, she reads as a really late maturing one. I love that about her, a really attractive one in her own right. The young man's heifer that's going to come out the ring next is one that reads more moderate in her type and kind, but that's okay. She's deeper and bolder in her center body, reads to be an easier fleshing one. if you like cattle that are more moderate and easier keeping in her kind, this is the heifer that you're going to gravitate to in that trio. But 3 really useful heifers, you sort them out in your buying program depending on which one fits your particular program.
Entering the ring is Class 4, ULRA Paradox 2178, date of birth 3/28 of 21. Lot 7 in Class 4, Berg Tesla 121J, date of birth 3/4 of 21. Out of Class 3, first place went to Barn Juju. Second place to Barn Jolene, and third to Barn Jenny. All 3 out of Class 3 were exhibited by the Barnes family cattle.
Two heifers here that really differ in type and kind. The dark pointed heifer I'm going to lead off with is one that's just super smooth and super complete. Everywhere you look at her, again, not to get repetitive, but I talk about foot shape and size, and I think that's an important thing that in all breeds that we need to be really particular about. And this heifer is extremely good in her foot shape, extremely smooth and correct in her bone work, just smooth from end to end, really attractive through her front end. Doesn't overwhelm you in any one place in terms of power or stoutness or freak extension in her front end, but a really, really complete female that I like a lot of things about, and I think she'd be an exciting breeding piece for somebody to go ahead and work with down the road. Taking nothing away from the other heifer in here, just different in terms of their type. This heifer's bigger in her kind. She's deeper and bolder in her center body. She's more massive, that's for sure. A heifer that's super stout, just maybe not as smooth as that one that leads off, but 2 really good females. And again, depending on what direction you're wanting to take your program, each of these females will be very useful, but just in 2 different ways.
Class 4, first place, Lot 43, Ulrich Red Angus. Second place, Lot 7, Berg Family Red Angus. Entering the ring will be Class 5, Lot 46, Wangan LeMay 112J, date of birth 2/11 of 21. Lot 35, SHR Miss Mario 115J, 2/4 of 21. And Lot 3, KBCC Flora 101J, date of birth 2/2 of 21.
This another really nice cut of heifers, but this one here that's going to be our class winner in this particular drive is one that surfaces to the top for me fairly handily. A heifer that has tons of presence out here. I love how youthful and fresh that she is for being the bigger framed heifer out here. She's still really green and youthful in her condition. I think is another one that's going to get better every day, and she's awfully good today. A big-footed heifer that's really loose and flexible as she goes. I like the extra extension and length she has through her front end. She's long and level from hooks to pins. A really nice heifer to lead off this class that I think has a lot of breeding value down the road. The other two heifers you can mix and match a little bit depending on what your program needs, and that's where you guys as buyers decide that tomorrow at the sale. Both heifers are really cowy in their overall build. The young man that's going to lead out here in front of me next has a heifer that's super stout in her feature, really opened up at her chest floor, bold and shapely in her center body, has lots of muscle, maybe as stout a muscled heifer as we've seen so far here today, and I think that's one can go out and make a guy some bulls and some performance cattle. The heifer here that's coming out next is one that follows her in terms of that center body dimension, a deep-sided one, really uniform in her depth. Excuse me, from flank to flank, really level down her top line. Just another nice cow prospect. If you look at her EPDs and pedigree and she fits what you need, one that you certainly don't need to be afraid to take home.
Entering the ring, lot 32, Nolan's Josie J9, date of birth 1/29 of 21. Lot 38, TJC 720, Juno 113J, date of birth 1/10 of 21. Lot 26, WKRA Fiona 21H1, date of birth 1/3 of 21. Class winner of 5 went to lot 46, Wangan LeMay, owned by Wangan Cattle Company. Second to Shady Hills Red Angus, lot 35. And third, lot 23, Cabela Brothers Cattle.
this particular trio of heifers is an exciting one to work through. And again, the opinion that matters is the opinion of you buyers that are going to take them home and implement them into your programs. And all three of these females from top to bottom of this class are very good and very useful, but all three are very, very different. The lighter tinged heifer that I choose to lead off with is one that's just burly to me. She's huge footed, she's huge boned, she's massive in her center body. She's as stoutly featured as anything we've seen. Is she the sexy show heifer that maybe a couple of the other ones we've seen today? Maybe not, but she might read as to be the donor cow. There's a lot of bulls out here in all of the breeds that we work with that you need a cow with some power to really make them work, and this one has power. She is extremely powerful from the ground up, and with that, she's really loose in her skeleton. Is she ultra attractive? No, but if you want a burly beast of a cow to turn out in your pasture, I think she's the one that's the most unique to me today out of this trio of three really, really good heifers. This dark heifer that's coming next is the one that hits you the hardest when you view them from the side. She's really long and attractive out through her front end. She's long and level down her top line. She too reads with huge foot and bone and is flexible. A really neat breeding piece here for sure. One it's an interesting one to get your eyes on. The heifer that's coming out of the ring in third here, or in the third one out, that's not placed necessarily that way, is one that kind of fits in between those two. She's a heifer that's more attractive than the heifer that leads off, a heifer that's maybe a little stouter featured than the heifer that left here in second. Three really, really useful females that I think would be awfully good purchases for people to take home and implement into their breeding programs. I like all three of those females top to bottom.
Class 6, first place, Nolan's Josie, lot 32 for Nolan Red Angus. Second to lot 38, Tim Johnson Cattle. And third to Kayla Red Angus. Entering the ring will be our champion open heifer and reserve champion open heifer. Entering the ring from lot 19 from class 1 is JVTM Jana, 133J. Class 2 winner is JTVM Justice, 136J. Class 3, Barn Juju, Lot 3. Class 4, Lot 43, Ulra Paradox, 2178. Class 5, Lot 46, Wangan LeMay, 112J. And Class 6, Lot 32, Nolan's Josie J9. Our judge today is Andy Van Arnhem from Exira, Iowa. Andy's family has been raising Simmental cattle since 1978. They currently calve 120 head. Thank you, Andy, for coming to judge our 46th annual Red Angus Classic Show.
let's give all the breeders of these young heifers a big round of applause. I think the quality is outstanding. From end to end, our youngest to oldest, there's some females that have different parts and pieces, and that's when you're out here evaluating sale cattle. I've judged quite a few shows at different levels, state fairs, Kansas City, a lot of county fairs around, and it's maybe different than judging a show to come out here and judge a set of breed sale cattle, because the important part isn't my opinion here today as much as it is the opinion of you guys in the seats buying them, because all these females will fit your goals a little bit differently. They come out of different types of classes as far as what was in their particular class. But I think from the youngest heifer down here on the end to the oldest heifer down there on the far end, I think there's a set of females out here that the Red Angus breeders sure need to be proud of. It's getting harder and harder to breed these cattle anymore. The demand of exceptional cattle is getting more picky, and the extremes from just the good old boy producers to the extreme outliers is getting farther and farther, and it's not an easy thing to do to make them this good and to get them ready to bring into sale. And it's not easy to come this time of year to sell cattle. A lot of us are calving hard at home, so I want to commend the breeders for bringing a really nice set of cattle to go through. Again, as you're buying them, go back in the stalls and talk to these people. There's heifers out here that'll fit different needs of different operations, that's for sure. You select what fits you best. I'm going to go out here and look. I think there's a couple that surfaced for me. They're different in their type and kind, but they're sure awfully good. I'm going to take another look at them, and then I'll pick a champion young female here. But again, give these breeders a nice round of applause, please.
Our champion open heifer went to lot 46, Wangan LeMay 112J from Wangan Cattle Company. Entering the ring, lot 35, SHR Miss Mario 115J. Your reserve champion open heifer went to lot 20, JTVM Justice 136J, exhibited by JVM Cattle. Entering the ring, we have Class 7, bred heifers. Again, entering the ring, lot 7, bred heifers. Lot 48, AWEB GG, date of birth May 5 of 20. Lot 47, AWEB Charlie, date of birth April 11 of 20.
this old boy out here might not have been in the junior show ring for a few years, but he sure has proven himself to be a breeder. This cow's got extra width and dimension wherever you analyze her. She's really wide and bold in her chest floor, carries that back to her pins. Heifer that's really massive in her center body, really stout in terms of her muscularity, but still attractive in her overall design. A really powerful female to lead out this duo. The young man that's got the other heifer out here is one that when you view her from the side, sure, she's smoother. She's laid in neater about her shoulder. She's a little leveler in her design. I like that about her. A little more attractive in her overall look. Maybe the one, if you're going to raise bulls, you're going to gravitate towards the first one. If you're going to raise show heifers, you're going to gravitate towards the second one, just depending on how they're bred and where they fit in your programs. You guys make the decision, but a nice pair of bred heifers in that particular class.
Entering the ring, Class 8, Lot 11, GNRA Miss Deep End, February 28, 2020. Lot 10, GRNA Miss Mulberry. Date of birth, January 27 of 2020. Class 7 results, first place to Lot 48, Tim and Kathy Weber. Second, Lot 47 to Tim and Kathy Weber.
This particular drive, I know we've got a father-son duo out here competing, and as the older I get, the more I realize that my dad knows more than me, and so we have to just generally accept that. And my dad's days are he's getting older, and I know his days to prove me wrong are getting numbered as well, but I don't know how they picked who sorted which one, but I'm going to assume that dad's just smarter than son. That's just how life is, it seems. We don't admit it until we get into our 40s like me and Cody are, but this heifer that's going to lead off this pair is one that I think is really complete, and I think that's what we're looking for, is to raise complete breeding cattle. She's good-footed, she's bold and massive in her center body, but she's still really feminine out through that front one-third. I like the way she holds her hip together just a notch better than the other heifer. A really complete one to start off, of a nice pair of bred heifers. And again, depending on what you need to do in your program, there's a lot of good in the heifer that's coming in second as well. One that's maybe a notch wider in her general build. She's bigger footed and heavier boned. She's more opened up in terms of the shape and curvature she has to her rib. She's wider at her pins, maybe just not as smooth and as attractive as the one in front, but they're both awfully good. A nice pair of females from this family. Let's give those two guys a round of applause.
Class 8 results, Lot 11, Griffin Red Angus, and Class 8 second to Griffin Red Angus. Entering the arena is going to be your champion bred heifer and reserve champion bred heifer. From Class 7, we have Lot 48, A. Webb Gigi, May 5th of 2020. And from Class 8, Lot 11, GNRA Miss Deepend, February 28th of 20.
Let's give our bred heifer division a nice round of applause. You guys are just not a very excited crowd today. I mean, that wasn't a very jubilant round of applause, but a nice set of heifers out here in the bred division that again can do a lot of different things depending on where you're aiming your program. If you're producing show heifers or producing commercial bulls, there's heifers that fit different needs in the particular industry. I think there's a pair of heifers that are going to surface for me. The two heifers out of the second class will be our champion and reserve bred females.
Champion bred heifer out of Class 8, Lot 11, Griffin Red Angus. Reserve champion bred heifer out of Class 8. Again, Griffin Red Angus, Lot 10. We are ready to select our overall champion Red Angus heifer. We have entries, Lot 46, Wangan LeMay, 112J, February 11 of 21. Your champion open heifer. The champion bred heifer, Lot 11, GNRA Miss Deepin, February 28th of 2020. The reserve, champion open heifer, Lot 20, JTVM Justice, 136J, April 22nd of 2021. And Lot 10, GRNA Miss Mulberry, 127 of 2020.
As we wrap up our female portion of the Red Angus show here today, again, I think there's been a tremendous amount of quality and a tremendous amount of options for you guys as buyers to sort through in terms of what fits your particular program. And as we're raising these purebred cattle, I don't have access to the numbers today, but you take EPDs into play and different cow families and pedigrees that might read on paper for these heifers. It might change and sort out the way things work for different programs and might change the dollar value that they bring to the table tomorrow when they run through the auction ring. But I think the quality we have sorted through down here to the end is tremendous. And I want to congratulate the breeders and congratulate the breed as a whole in the progress that you're making and the type of cattle that you're bringing to town. I think there's a pair that's sort out here that I think read to me to be elite amongst the set of cattle, though they differed in their type and kind. I'll talk about them all, but the young man's heifer down here on the end that won the young heifers is one that reads extremely youthful to me. For one that's big in her kind, she's still very bold and robust in her center body. She's got good big feet, she's heavy boned, she's long and level, so attractive out through her front end. And again, what I really love about her is how youthful she reads. I think she's going to keep coming. I think her best days are ahead of her, and I think her best days are going to be awfully bright. The one that won the bred heifer division is one that just reads as ultra complete. She's sound on the ground, she's big and bold in her center body, she's stout enough in her kind and attractive enough in her build. One that you could probably breed a lot of different ways and still make high quality cattle depending on whichever direction you're heading in terms of commercial bulls or show heifers or whatever your particular program is guided towards. The reserve champion young heifer is one that's really unique in terms of her build. Huge footed, heavy boned, wide and powerful from end to end, but yet still attractive as we view her from the side. To me, it was a close pair amongst those two young heifers, two heifers that are just extremely different in their type and kind, but extremely unique in terms of the quality that they bring to the table. I think it'd be foolish of me to do anything other than to keep those two young heifers together as our champion and reserve Red Angus females here today. Let's give those guys a round of applause.
Your overall champion Red Angus heifer, lot 46, Wangan LeMay 112J, Wangan Cattle Company. And the overall reserve champion Red Angus heifer was lot 20, JTVM Justice 136J, JVM Cattle. Entering the ring, we'll start our bull show. Class 9, Lot 18, JTVM Jackson, 182J, April 30th of 21. Lot 33, BTCL Joy, 4/16 of 2021. And Lot 39, TLC Gemini, 128J, April 16 of 21.
you get into the bull show here, and this, I know I'm not supposed to necessarily place them 3 deep, but there's a really big difference in give and take in terms of type and kind of a pair of bulls here that I think are elite between the young ladies here that leads off and this dark-hided bull that's down here on this end. They're 2 bulls that are really good, but they're 2 bulls that are really, really different. The young ladies that leads off is one that's, in terms of his skeletal makeup, is incredibly good. He's super sound when you get him out on the go. Takes a long free stride off both ends. He's laid back in the angle of his shoulder. He's super long and level out of his hip. He reads green, but an end of April bull should read green, and I think he's got tons of future ahead of him. This is one that I think as we grow him out and you have him standing in your pasture as a 2-year-old, you're going to be awfully, awfully proud of. That one's skeletal design is just elite to me in this particular trio of bulls, a really, really good one. The young man's dark red bull that comes in second, there's no doubt, is the Power and Pounds bull out here. That sucker is massive. He's huge-bellied, he's stout, and he's burly. A calf that's not quite as collected in his skeleton. He's certainly acceptable. He's not quite as collected in his skeleton as we go as the one that leads off. It's nitpicking here, and in sale cattle you don't want to nitpick, but I think you have to amongst that pair of bulls because they're so extremely different in their type and kind. If you want just plain power and pounds, this dark bull's the one you're going to tie into. I think that pair there at the top are awfully, awfully good. Taking nothing away from the young man that comes out next. He's got another bull that's got lots of future ahead of him. He's sound on the ground. He's big-footed. He's super long from the side. He too's green in his makeup and is going to get better every day you own him. A nice trio of bulls, certainly some sort there at the top.
Class 9 results, Lot 18, exhibited by JVM. Second, Lot 39, TLC Livestock Services. And in third, Lot 33, exhibited by Pratt View Farms. Entering the ring, we have Class 10, Lot 40, TLC Jenga, 125J, April 14 of 21, and Lot 29, KML Rio, 59J, April 10 of 21.
This particular sort of bull, this big dark bull, runs up to the top of the class, is one that's extremely complete and he's kind. I love the shape he has to his feet. He gets out and goes, takes a long loose drive off both ends. He's long and level. He's extended out through his front end, but with that extra length and look, he still has plenty of stoutness down through his top and out of his hip. A really nice bull to lead off this duo, one that I too think his best days are ahead of him, but he still looks awfully good today. The young man's bull that's going to come second in this class is giving up a little bit of weight today, but don't hold that against him. Another one that if you study him in terms of his muscularity, he probably opens up with more shape right in behind his shoulder. He's got lots of shape back over that loin edge. He's stout out of the upper portion of his hip. Another bull that's got lots of good, just depending on what the pedigree and EPDs do for your program, you can use those two in different ways. A nice pair of bulls in that class.
Results of Class 10, first, Lot 40, TLC Livestock Services, and second, Lot 29, Lynch Red Angus. Entering the ring, Class 11. March Bull Calves, Lot 2, BARN Jesse James, date of birth 3/21 of 21. Lot 27, LR Finished Project, March 8th of 21. And Lot 12, HGWD Legacy J552, March 7 of 21. Again, we'd like to thank our judge, Andy Van Arnhem from Exira, Iowa, for judging the Red Angus Classic Show today. Andy's family has been raising Simmental cattle since 1978. They calve approximately 121 head a year. Thank you, Andy, for judging our show today.
A bull that surfaces in this particular trio fairly quickly for me, one that's big-footed and correct in the way he gets off and goes on both ends of his skeleton. We get off to the side of him, he balances up really, really well. He's deep and uniform in his depth from flank to flank. He's level in his design when you look at him, and sure a stout one in terms of feature from end to end. A really nice calf to lead off this class. From there, there's a pair of bulls that you can do some different things with. This young man's down here that's going to lead out next is one that sure reads like a calving East prospect, a calf that's really good in terms of the way he's designed through his front end. He's long, he's level. He's one that's got a lot of good at him, showing good testicular development for his age. This calf down here on this end is the power bull of the trio. He's got the most muscularity down his top and out of his hip. We like that about him. A really functional kind of a calf. 3 nice Red Angus bulls in this particular class. Let's give those guys a round of applause.
Entering the ring, Class 12, Lot 16, JVTM Jasper, 180J, February 28th of 21. Lot 45, Wangan Rest Easy, 114J, February 13 of 21. And Lot 36, SRJ Freedom, 110, February 12 of 21. The results from the March Class 11 bull calves is Lot 27, exhibited by Linder Red Angus. Second, Lot 2, exhibited by Barnes Family Cattle. And third, Lot 12, exhibited by Hedgewood Cattle Company.
This bull that's going to lead off this particular cut just reads power from the ground up. He's huge-footed, and with that extra bone and stoutness, though he's still super sound as you ask him to get out and go about the arena. One that reads probably as stout and as true in terms of his muscularity as anything we've seen this far today. Really impressive in terms of that shape he's got down his top, as wide and bold in his pin set as you're going to find in any breed of bull. I think an outstanding power and performance bull to lead off this trio. The calf that's walking out next is one that again is an awfully nice calf in his own right. He's loose in his structure, he's good in his bone work, balances up really well from the side. One that reads to be more of a calving ease build type bull maybe than the one that leads off the class. So depending on what you need in your particular program, these two bulls might suit you in different ways and both advance your programs in different ways. Two nice bulls up here at the top. The young man's bull that comes in leading out next is one certainly doesn't take anything away from him. Not very cooperative to get out here and go. I'm glad I don't have to show ours. We don't have time to get them show ring broke this time of year, that's for sure. A calf, though, when he gets relaxed and settled in, balances up really well from the side, really long and level and attractive when you view him there. A really nice calf, runs into a tough pair up there at the top, but three really useful bulls in that particular drive.
Entering the ring, we have Class 13, Lot 21, KBCC Justice, 104J, February 10 of 2021. Lot 34, SHR Bell, 126J, February 10 of 21. Lot 6, Berg Hailstorm, 194J, February 3rd of 21. And Lot 22, KBCC Journey, 102J, February 2nd of 21. Results from Class 12. First, Lot 16, exhibited by JVM Cattle. Second, Lot 45, exhibited by Wangan Cattle Company. And third, Lot 36, exhibited by Steady Run Genetics.
Another close pair up in this top pair of bulls in this particular class, but the one I'm going to lead out with is one that doesn't hit you super hard when he first comes in the ring, but if we study him, he's the one that's the most comfortable when we get him out and go. This calf takes a really long, correct stride off both ends of his skeleton. I love his foot shape. I love his flexibility and his mobility. And in bulls, that's something that's tremendously important. A calf that's incredibly long-sided when he gives him stop and set up. He really pulls himself together really, really well. But structurally, that one can get out in flat motor. The bull that's coming out next is a power bull. He's got more shape down his top and out of his hip. A really big, powerful, massive one. If you need to add some muscularity to your program, sure tie into this guy. He too balances up very well from the side. A really nice pair of bulls up here at the top. The next calf that comes out, it's given up a little performance to those first two, but again, another calf that's really comfortable on the go. Deep-sided and bold in his center body. Both these calves here coming out, I love the testicular development they show. Big testicled calves that are really productive and practical in their kind. Both got plenty of muscle and shape. Again, look at the pedigrees and EPDs and whatever works for you. There's 4 useful bulls that are ready to go out and cover a lot of cows.
Your Class 13 results, Lot 34 to Shady Hills Red Angus. Second, Lot 21, Cabela Brother Cattle. Third, Lot 6, Berg Family Red Angus. And fourth, Lot 22, Cabela Brothers Cattle. Entering the ring, Class 14. We have Lot 1, GNRA Deep End 103. Date of birth, January 28th of 21. Lot 44, Wangan Trademark 106J, January 24 of 21. And Lot 42, ULRA Resource 2129, January 14th of 21.
Incredibly useful bulls that differ quite a little in terms of their type and kind in this particular class, but the one that leads out, I think, is one of the, we've seen several standout individuals today, and this one's certainly one of them. A calf that's really good in terms of his foot and bone work. I love the way he's made in his center body. He's really deep and uniform from flank to flank. He's very correct in his proportions from end to end. He's extended and attractive up through his front end, yet still very masculine. He's bold and opened up in his center body, carries a lot of muscle down his top and out of his hip. A really, really complete one that I think has a lot of breeding value here. One of the better bulls we've seen so far today. From there, in this pair of bulls, they differ a lot in type and kind. A young man, if he wants to lead out next, if you need to add a shot of frame, and I think a lot of breeds we do, we've bred these cattle for Cavanese for generation and generation, and we bred a lot of frame out of them. That's a problem in the Simmentals, and it's a problem in a lot of breeds. If you need a calf that's going to add some frame and extension and pounds, this is sure one you need to have on your short list today. Probably as big in his outline as anything we've seen. I love that about him, a calf that's really rangy and can put some grow in a generation pretty quick. The calf that's coming next is one that, again, I appreciate a lot of things about. He's really good in his foot shape. I love that about him. Bold and massive in his center body. A calf that's super, super sound and stout and really complete. Doesn't wow you in any one way, but awfully, awfully complete. A super good herd bull prospect there. Certainly one I'd put on your short list if you're looking for a Red Angus bull as well.
Results of Class 14, Lot 44, exhibited by Wing and Cattle Company. Second, Lot 9, exhibited by Griffin Red Angus. And third, Lot 42. Oh, pardon me. Second was Ulrich Red Angus, Lot 42. And third was Griffin Red Angus, Lot 9. Entering the ring is Class 15. Lot 13A, HCC Global Trust, 112J, date of birth, January 9 of 21. Lot 31, Nolan's Jacks, J3, January 9 of 21. And Lot 41, Aura Fifth Sense, 2120, January 9 of 21.
Get into some big, stout, older bulls. This young man's calf down here on this end is going to lead out of this drive fairly handily. When you get off and view him from the side, he does a lot of things good in terms of a meat animal. He's really attractive, but yet super blown apart in his skeleton. He's wide-chested, big and bold-centered, wide, one of the wider pinned bulls we've seen so far today, but yet still really laid in neat about his shoulder and attractive out through his front end. A really nice calf to lead out this particular trio. As we described the next two bulls coming out, and again, as we don't describe in particular order, not in every class. Sometimes it's been so close in the top, I think I have to talk them that way. But the calf that's leading out next, again, if you need to add some frame and extension into your program, this is a big, long-sided, rangy kind of a beef bull. If you've got some more moderate frame cows and want to add some pounds to your calf crop in the fall, he's sure one you need to look at. The calf that's coming next follows that first one more closely in terms of his skeletal build. He's deep and soft and bold in his center body. A calf that's really athletic off both ends of his skeleton. Three really nice power bulls here in these older classes, sure ready to go out and cover a lot of cows.
Results of Class 15, Lot 13. The first place went to Lot 41, exhibited by Ulrich Red Angus. Second, Lot 31, exhibited by Nolan Red Angus. And third, Lot 13A, exhibited by Hine Cattle Company. Entering the ring now, Class 16, Lot 8, CBCB Just Right, 371J, January 3rd of 21. Lot 25, WKRA, 21B1, January 3rd of 21. And Lot 37, TJC, 752E, Jammer 1J, January 2nd of 21.
Another class with a close top pair in here for me. I guess this light colored bull that's going to lead off is one that as we watch him travel about the surface, I just love the shape he has to his claws. He sets down with spread between his toes. He's big footed. He's good in his bone work. He's certainly one that's powerful enough from end to end. Super smooth, super complete, super sound. I think he checks a lot of boxes for a really good commercial bull or purebred bull, whichever you're looking for, an awfully complete calf to start. It gets pretty close with this dark bull on the other end, a bull that's different in terms of his type and kind, another one that's big-footed and rugged in his overall build, a calf that's got a notch more frame and extension, maybe a calf that, again, I like a lot of things about, not as ultra attractive out through his front 1/3, maybe not as truly shapely down his top as the one that leads off, but a really high-quality pair of bulls in the top end of that class. Taking enough away from this one. This one's green and youthful in his build. A calf that you take him home, he's got a lot of frame and extension and grow, one that's going to keep on going when you put him out on cows and get better every day of his life. Another one of those that if you need to put a shot of frame and lateness of maturity in your breeding program, certainly one you need to look at.
Results of Class 16, first place, Lot 8, exhibited by CB2 Cattle Company. Second, Lot 37, exhibited by Tim Johnson Cattle. And third, Lot 25, exhibited by Kayla Red Angus. Entering the ring will be our champion bull and reserve champion bull. From Class 9, we have Lot 18, JTVM Jackson 182J. From Class 10, Lot 40, TLC Jenga 125J. From Class 11, Lot 27, LR Finished Product. Class 12, Lot 16, JV TM Jasper 180J. Class 13, Lot 34, SHR Bell 126J. From Class 14, Lot 44, Wangan Trademark 106J. Class 15, Lot 41, ULRA 5th Sense 2120. And from Class 16, Lot 8, CB Just Right 371J. The concession stand here in the pavilion will be closing at 3 in case anyone would like to grab food. Again, the concession stand here in the pavilion will be closing at 3. There will still be food available in the South Annex.
Let's give all the breeders in this set of bulls a huge round of applause. As we get these calves out here from their different classes, certainly there's some differences amongst the classes, and you end up with some slight differences in terms of type and kind out here, but I hope you could kind of follow what I was looking for, and you guys as buyers, I think should be awfully excited about the opportunity you have tomorrow to add some of these bulls to your breeding programs. All these class winners out here are sure ones that I think even some of the most selective buyers could sure come in and find a use for. There's some bulls that are a little bit different in terms of their skeletal build. There's some bulls that are a little bit different in terms of their muscularity, but the quality of these individuals from end to end, they're all sound, they're all functional, they're all practical kind of cattle. There's some differences in terms of skeletal build and makeup, though, that sort the good and the elite. I think it's a really challenging set of bulls to come and pick a champion from, because there's so many different ways you can utilize some of these individuals. The calf down on the far end is so green and youthful, but he's so good in terms of the way his skeleton is put together. A calf that is, to me, unique out here amongst this lineup. Yes, he's at a decided disadvantage in terms of age, but in terms of skeletal integrity and design, structural integrity, I think that calf is pretty elite. If we come down a couple classes, there's a big powerhouse bull out here that out of class 4, that if you need to add just raw power and muscularity to a set of cattle, he's got as much square shape down his top and out his hip as any breed. You can go in the semis, the shars. Me being a semi-man terminal crossbreed, we like them big, square, stout, powerful ones. That's a calf that's got a ton of square muscle shape down his top and out of his hip. Calf a couple classes down, a young man in a black coat's got got a calf that's maybe a combination bull in terms of that extra width and dimension. He balances up very well from the side, maybe not quite as elite from the side as a couple of the other ones, but a calf that puts a lot of things together. Calf down on the far end is one I loved in terms of his foot shape and his flexibility, his balance and extension when you view him from the side. Is he as stout as a couple of the other ones? No, but he's sure probably stout enough. And all the bulls in between that I didn't talk about are awfully, awfully good. And I think as breeders, you should be very, very proud of the set of cattle you have. As prospective buyers, you should be really excited about tomorrow because if you don't get your first choice, your second, third, and I don't know how many we got out here, 8? You got 8 choices that are awfully good, just depending on what you need for your program. So if you get blown out of the water on the first one, don't lose hope, because there's a lot of good bulls in this entire set of cattle that you guys can work with from top to bottom, and some that aren't back out here in the ring. You never know what you're going to get when you come to sort any kind of a show, and I thought the heifers were awfully good. I think the bulls are even better in terms of depth of quality. An exciting set of cattle, a really challenging place for me to go out and sort them, because there's so much difference in variation in age and body condition and things out here to wade through. But I see my job is to find the best one and really analyze through that and see one that I think has a tremendous amount of future. I think it's really hard to build them this way and have them be that good. And for me, the more I study them, in a set of really good bulls, there's one that's really unique in my mind. He's unique for the breed. He's unique in terms, there's no question we get him out on the move. He holds himself together the best. He's designed the best from the side. He's certainly adequate in his muscularity and development for his age. A calf that I think is a standout amongst a standout set of bulls. He's just given up some age and development that way. But that young lady's calf that won the first class, he hit me awful hard when he comes in, and as we analyze him further, and yes, he may not be as mature and ready to go out on cows as some of the other options, but if you want one that's unique and that could be a breed changer in my mind, the young lady's calf out of the first class is the best one out here today, no matter how old he is.
Champion Bull, Lot 18, JTVM Jackson 182J, exhibited by JVM Cattle Company. Entering the ring, Lot 39, TLC Jumanji 128J.
We had a unique outlier in my mind up here at the top, and I know we always want the biggest, stoutest, most strapping calf, but we've got to evaluate them for all the good that's in them, and I think that one's got a ton of future and a ton of good. I think we see him as a 2-year-old. You're going to go, holy cow, that's a good one. But from there, I think we have one that sorts to me that follows him most closely in terms of the extra wow factor he has and in terms of the balance he shows from the side, but he has that extra shot of punch and power and muscularity down his top and out of his hip. The young man here in the black coat will have our reserve.
The Reserve Champion Bull, Lot 44, Wangan Trademark 106J, exhibited by Wangan Cattle Company. Entering the ring will be 2020 born bulls. We will be doing class 17, 18, and 19, 20, all in the ring together, selecting our champion and reserve champion bull. Entering the ring, lot 14, HCC Mojo 85H, December 23rd, 2020. Lot 28, LR final product 20. October 1st of 2020. Class 19, Lot 1, BARU, Iowa 055. Date of birth, September 18, 2020. And Lot 30, Nolan's Apex, H23, July 5th, 2020. Again, classes 17, 18, 19, and 20 were all single entry classes. They will all be exhibited together, vying for Champion Bowl and Reserve Champion Bowl.
These are all 4 individual classes that they rolled in here together. So I'll talk about them each as individual class winners. Out of our December class down here on the far end, we've got a big, powerfully made kind of a bull. He's deep and soggy in his center body, got good testicular development. We like that about him. Got lots of muscle shape down at his top. Just a big, rugged commercial performance kind of a beef bull. The young lady's October calf out of the second class, when we view him from the side, is one that brings a lot of more wow factor to the table. He's really attractive and smooth in the way he's laid in about his shoulder. He's neat and tidy out through the front end. A calf that reads like a calving ease type bull, but still has plenty of muscle and dimension to him when we view him down his top. I like the depth and shape that he has to his rib. A calf that's sure acceptable in terms of structure when we get him out on the go. The bull out here, out of the, I believe he was a September-born calf, a calf that's really rugged and loose-made. I like his foot shape. I like how free and easy he goes off both ends of his skeleton. He's really deep and soggy in his center body, level in his top line. A calf that's maybe not as attractive as a couple of the other ones out here, but sure got a lot of good in him in terms of just rugged, loose-made, useful kind of a calf. The big bull that is a July-born calf, I think he was. Man, that thing is powerful. From the ground up, he's huge-footed, he's huge-boned, he's got tons of muscle down his top and out of his hip, and with that extra age and power, he's really exceptional in terms of the way he handles it and motors here about the ring. That's a really, really stout-ended calf from end to end that's still so very functional in terms of his structure, functional in his type and kind. Is he as whistle-necked and extended as some? No, but with that extra width and power and dimension, you wouldn't expect him to be. That is a burly individual. I think he wins these older bulls and does so fairly handily for me. Decision for reserve gets a notch closer between the two calves here in the center. One has a little more look. The other one's a little more athletic and flexible in terms of his foot shape and the angles that he has to his hock and rear pastern. The young man's September calf is going to be our reserve in the older division. Let's give those guys a round of applause.
Your champion bull comes out of Class 20, Lot 30, exhibited by Nolan Red Angus. Second reserve champion bull goes to Lot 1, exhibited by Bar U Ranch. Entering the ring, we will have the overall champion Red Angus bull and the overall reserve champion Red Angus bull. Entering the ring, we have JTVM Jackson, 182J, April 30th of 21. Lot 44, Wangan Trademark, 106J, January 24, 21. Lot 30, Nolan's Apex, H23, July 5th, 2020. And Bar U, Iowa, 055, Lot 1, September 18 of 2020.
I appreciate the opportunity to come out here today and sort through these sale cattle. And again, my opinion really matters not. The opinion is tomorrow when you guys are sitting in the seats raising your hands. And I hope you're all confident to raise your hands and raise them high on a lot of bulls we saw today. I'm really pleased with the quality of the breed that came to town. I think there's some calves that are really unique. And that's the thing about judging sale cattle and coming through sale cattle. You got to use these things however they fit your particular program. There's certain guys that are going to be able to take the bull that was second in a class and use him and advance his program to a higher degree than a guy that might be able to use the champion and reserve out here today. It depends on what your plan is, what your direction is, and that's the thing that's so hard about breeding these cattle is to find a direction and find a plan. I find myself guilty sometimes. The Simmental world has gone so heavy on the show heifer side of things, you find yourself caught in no man's land because you're trying to breed a few show heifers and you're trying to stay true to raising commercial bulls, and they're just two different programs. Sometimes you got to find your lane and stay in it. A guy can get a little bit lost when he tries to do both. But I think there's bulls out here that can do different things for different segments of the breed, and you guys as buyers sort it out, because that's all that matters. These guys don't really care what I say. They care how big the check is they're going to drag home tomorrow, and I would hope that these guys are going to be rewarded handsomely, because I think they have some really outstanding individuals. The calf down here that won the calf division is so youthful and green and at such a disadvantage today because of that. But I like how youthful and green he is. He reads like a calf that was actually born in the end of April. He's in the condition he should be. if we pushed him too hard, we could ruin a calf like that, trying to add extra pounds to him just to sell him. I think he's growing out and grown like he should be, and I think he's got a ton of future. His skeletal design is really hard to poke a hole in. He's not as powerful today, but in a year from now, I don't think you'll ever question the power of that one. But I will think that you'll go, man, that bull has some parts and pieces that are breed changer in terms of the way he's designed, his front end, the way he's made out of his hip, his structural integrity. That one's one that I think will go out and produce an elite show heifer for somebody someday if that's what your program desires. The big almost black bull that won the old calves, it's hard to make one any more powerful than that guy. He's huge-footed, he's huge, bold-chested, bold-ribbed, and tremendous in terms of the muscularity he has down his top and out of his hip. You can't question that about him. Is he as attractive as a couple of the other ones? Nope. But if you need to just add power and muscle, that's about as muscled up a bull as you're going to find in any breed that can get out and travel as free and easy as he does. You have to really appreciate that about him. The reserve calf down here is one that's kind of the combination of the two. A calf that's got that little more look and wow factor like our young calf that won the young bulls, but's got a little more muscularity and power when you get him behind him. The September calf down here, rugged, loose-made, that's just like an ideal commercial bull. You can turn him out, and you'll turn him out for the next 7, 8 years, and he'll never give you a problem. He'll make good calves that come to town every day of the week. Are they going to be show cattle as wow factor as the first one? Maybe not, but he's going to stay sound. He's going to stay good, and he's going to last you a long, long time. So there's 4 bulls out here that are really, really good, just depending on what you need to do with your program. You guys make that decision, but for me, I think the extra uniqueness and wow factor and maybe some of the things that a couple of them bring to the table in terms of marketing higher end breeding cattle down the road, I think those 2 young calves need to stay together as champion reserve. I think they're pretty outstanding. Let's give those people a round of applause.
Your overall champion Red Angus bull was Lot 18, exhibited by JVM Cattle. Reserve champion Red Angus bull, Lot 44, exhibited by Wingen Cattle Company. This concludes our show. We look forward to seeing you all at the sale tomorrow. Thank you.